You ever notice how every NetherRealm game has this? And also this? And sometimes this. Well, there's one character you can blame for that, and his name is Deathstroke. This character began the NetherRealm trend of making Keepaway characters very overpowered. He fires tons of bullets and is deadly at every range. So today, let's discuss just how broken this character was. If you love Injustice or fighting games in general, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for more videos. To begin, let's discuss his various Keepaway tools, because Deathstroke has a lot of them, and first up we have the machine gun. Now you may recognize this move even if you haven't played Injustice 1, because in Mortal Kombat X, Jackie has a move that's very similar to this. In fact, even Rambo has a move just like this in Mortal Kombat 11. However, Deathstroke is where this move began, and what makes it extra terrifying in this game is that it hits mid. In every other example, they were high attacks, which means you could duck under them. However, that is not the case in Injustice. You cannot duck under these things. At the very least, you're taking some chip damage. And then if Deathstroke wanted to, of course he could meter burn for some extra damage, and it knocked the opponent pretty far away, which made his Keepaway that much easier. And then to make things even scarier, that missile at the end is an overhead, which means if you're crouch blocking, it's going to hit you every single time. However, the good news is, at certain distances, this missile would miss completely, but unfortunately, it does not miss when Deathstroke's right in your face. And what makes that so annoying is this follow-up is -8 on block with a lot of pushback, which means this move is 100% safe on block, even when done right in the opponent's face. As long as you have the meter available, the opponent can't punish you when you're close enough. As you can see, this move is very good, but it does have one drawback. If Deathstroke misses, then he's stuck firing this thing for a very long amount of time. Look how long it takes me to jump, for example. If your character has an air dash or an air teleport or just a good jump, anything of that nature, you can punish him for doing this thing in a dumb situation. Deathstroke even had an anti-air version of this move as well. I didn't see it used very often, but as you can see, it covers a pretty considerable amount of the screen, so if the opponent wants to jump to avoid the regular machine gun and he predicts that, he can catch you with the upward machine gun. And the damage on this move is the exact same. It does 14%, and you have the meter burn option, which will do even more damage at 17%. However, it has the added benefit of way more knockback. Look at that. The opponent's pretty much full screen if you land this thing. And then next up we have quick fire. It's not as damaging as the machine guns, but it is much faster. Online, there is no way to react to this thing. If you're not blocking or ducking, he's just going to catch you with it. And already that's frustrating, but to make things even more annoying, the meter burn version does some decent damage and is +5 on hit, which means he can just go for something else afterwards and you have to deal with it. And it only got worse in the corner because this move has no pushback whatsoever. Look at that. He's right in your face and he's still +5, which means you have to deal with his mix-ups and shenanigans, all that annoying stuff. Oh, that's right. This Keepaway character has some godlike mix-ups, and we're going to talk about them, but for now we're still discussing the Keepaway. Even if you did block quickfire, the Deathstroke player had time to see that and then meter burn, which kept him safe on block. Now thankfully you can duck under this move because it is a high attack, but even so, it's very fast. As I mentioned earlier, online especially, it was pretty much unreactable, and once he hit you, especially in the corner, you had to deal with all of his follow-ups. Quickfire can also be done in the air as well, and if you're fast enough, it can hit standing opponents. And the reason that's scary is because air quickfire actually recovers a bit faster than the grounded quickfire, so if you hit the opponent, you can recover a bit sooner. And then on top of that, this special move is also good for ending combos as well, and look at that, the opponent's basically full screen. And then of course, if the opponent's trying to jump at you, you can jump away and then catch them in the air with your own bullets, so it's also good for zoning as well. It's great for ending combos, it's great for Keepaway, and also anti-airing to an extent. Honestly, the only downside about this move is it doesn't have a meter burn. And then last but not least, we have low shots. This move activates very quickly and hits low, like the name implies, which means if the opponent is stand blocking or walking towards you or walking away, this move can tag them for some decent damage. And to make things more frustrating, Deathstroke does have strings that end in an overhead, but guess what? Now it's a low instead, and if he spends the meter, he is +10 on hit, which becomes a very big deal in the corner because once again, no pushback. One more example is this string right here, ends in an overhead, but guess what? Now it's a low instead, and if he wants to spend the meter, he's now +10 on hit. But this this next part is the worst. Because Deathstroke has moves that leave you in a hard knockdown state, he can do low shots, and for a lot of characters this was guaranteed chip damage because you have no way of avoiding them. So take for example this setup right here. I can just wait and then go for the low gunshots and you had to block all that chip damage. Or how about this situation right here, a basic bread and butter combo and then some added chip damage just for fun. Once again, you had to block all of that. Even if your character had an invincible wake up, the gunshots lasted for so long that they would likely still catch you during their recovery, which means the only way to punish this was to have an invincible teleport, which a lot of characters did not have. Which means against many characters on the roster, Deathstroke just got to have some extra chip damage at the end of every combo. And that's about it for all the Keepaway tools, but next up we have Deathstroke's trait. This made every single one of his projectiles unblockable. Yes, even the low and mid-hitting projectiles would become unblockable for a short period of time. Now thankfully the damage is greatly reduced on these moves, but even so, imagine being low on life and then Deathstroke pops trait. It's very tough to survive in that situation. However, if you did survive, there's good news for you, because every single projectile he fires is now going to miss, which I find absolutely hilarious as a gameplay concept. However, things aren't as good as they seem, because sure, his projectiles aren't going to hit you, but let's be real, Deathstroke has a lot of tools for keeping you out, and his sword has fantastic range. And as a result, even after his trait does run out, Deathstroke still has plenty of tools, not just for Keepaway, but combos, mix-ups, all that awesome stuff. He's a bit weaker to be sure, but he's by no means helpless even once the trait debuff activates. And I almost forgot about his throws. You might as well consider these Keepaway tools as well, because as you're about to see, it puts the opponent at full screen, which means the Keepaway can begin all over again. So as you just saw, Deathstroke has so many ways to keep the opponent out with a various barrage of bullets. However, in typical NetherRealm fashion, he was equally deadly up close. He's not just a Keepaway character, he's a combo character and a mix-up character as well. And once again, this trend would continue in future games. Jackie in Mortal Kombat X was not just a zoner, she was also a combo monster and had great pressure as well. And there's an example like this in every game that came out after Injustice, and if you ask me, it started with Deathstroke. This character is good at absolutely everything, so next up let's talk about how he's dangerous up close. Let's start off with the mix-ups. Deathstroke has a low attack with some pretty good range that starts combos without any meter, and these combos are stupid simple and they leave the opponent far enough away to start your Keepaway. And then craziest of all, this mix-up is completely safe on block with a bunch of pushback, so this move is great at absolutely everything. Just throw it out whenever you feel like it. If it lands, you get a combo. If it's blocked, you're completely safe. Who cares? And then we have the overhead, which is also completely safe on block. Now, if you want to combo with it, it is going to cost you some meter, but in the corner, those combos can get pretty good. But here's the craziest part. This low attack and this overhead are only 2 frames apart in speed, which means there is no way to fuzzy these things or react to them in the neutral. Their startup is almost identical, which means that Deathstroke has a legitimate 50-50. Even if you're a great player with insane timing and reactions, it doesn't matter. One is 13 frames and the other one is 15 frames. And as a result, the only way to block this mix-up is to guess correctly. There's nothing outside of that. And that is absolutely terrifying, because don't forget that Deathstroke has moves that are plus on block in the corner with no pushback, which means you have to deal with this mix-up. There's no way to avoid it. And if you guess wrong, then Deathstroke gets a full combo, but if you guess right, he is completely safe on block. Or in other words, his mix-ups are low risk with a very high reward. And if all that wasn't bad enough, Deathstroke also has a really good forward 3. It has great range both horizontally and vertically, and as you can see, it's very fast, and because he hops in the air, he can even avoid certain attacks while doing it. So not only is this overhead dangerous, but this overhead is dangerous as well. So even from around jumping distance, this character can be a nightmare. But don't worry, Deathstroke still has more ways to start combos. First up, we have human hunting. As you can see, it launches the opponent in the air, and from mid-screen, you can get a full jump in combo. Or if you want to be lazier, you can just do a special move instead and then spin the bar for a bit more damage, and as you can see, the opponent's at full screen. And then we have Diamond Blade. If you want a simple follow-up, then just finish the string and do air quickfire. However, if your timing's a bit better, you can wait to land and then extend the combo from there. And what makes this string so crazy is the third hit is actually an option select. It won't come out unless the first 2 hits land, and as a result, you can dial in the first 3 hits without fear. If it lands, you get the free combo follow-up. If it's blocked, you're completely safe. The game is doing the thinking for you. It keeps you safe on block, but if it lands, have fun and get a damaging combo. And of course, we're not done yet, because NetherRealm also gave Deathstroke this string, which is +9 on block. That's right, it's +9 on block, and on hit, you can special cancel it to extend combos. So not only is it fantastic on block, but it's good on hit as well. After you block this string, Deathstroke had certain moves that were pretty much guaranteed to hit you if you pressed any buttons. And now finally, I think it's time to talk about the defense. So despite being an amazing Keepaway character with decent combos and amazing pressure and mix-ups up close, Deathstroke also has one of the best wake-ups in the entire game. And that wake-up is Sword Spin, because this move is completely safe on block while also being fully invincible, which means he can just do this move, and if you're anywhere near him, he's completely safe. Now, of course, the good news is you could bait this move by jumping straight up, or maybe jumping over him for a cross-up, anything like that, but keep in mind Deathstroke has Sword Flip, which will catch you trying to do that. And as a result, many players would just respect this move on Wake Up because they were too scared of the Sword Flip. They would just stay grounded and block this move instead, which is completely safe on block. You don't even have to spin the meter. And keep in mind, you've already been watching this move because it's great for extending combos after Deathstroke's overhead mix-ups. And if all that wasn't crazy enough, this move also re-stands the opponent, which means they can't get access to any invincible wake-up attacks. If Deathstroke wants to, he can end a combo with this move and keep you standing for more pressure. As you can see, I was not joking. This really is one of the better wake-ups in the game. It's completely safe on block, it's fully invincible, it extends combos at the cost of 1 bar, and it also re-stands the opponent at the end of combos. This thing is insane. And once again, NetherRealm gave it to the Keepaway character. And then finally, to end the video, of course we have to talk about his super. So for starters, it's completely full screen. So this guy might like to play Keepaway, but he's not gonna let you play Keepaway against him. Any projectiles on screen he can react to and zip right through. But then look at the damage, 38%. That is well above average in this game. And need I remind you, it is full screen and they gave it to the Keepaway character. Full screen, goes past projectiles, and one of the most damaging supers in the game, and they gave it to the Keepaway character. As you can see, NetherRealm is completely nuts. Why did they give him a move like this? Now thankfully it's not the easiest to combo into because the startup is a bit slow, but as you can see, once you learn the combos, it's completely possible, and the damage you get is crazy, almost 50%. Again, they gave this to a Keepaway character. Yeah, the combos get crazier in this game, but that was an easy combo and it gave me 50% with a Keepaway character. NetherRealm gave this character everything, including the kitchen sink, and this trend would only continue in every title that came afterwards. Deathstroke changed the games forever, because ever since his creation, every NetherRealm game has had a Keepaway character that can do basically everything. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you feel about these crazy Keepaway characters? And while you're down there, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by suplexing that subscribe button. That way you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.